his stand contract as well.
Correct.
We talk about Will Skelton being a surprise as captain, but there are bolters in this squad as well on an individual level. You look at Issak Fines-Leleiwasa. He's playing club rugby in Perth recently. He played for Australia against Tonga, but hasn't really been in the Wallabies squad to date. He's potentially the biggest shock in terms of a selection into this 33-man squad.
Yeah, definitely. And I think you've heard Eddie talk about him. He said he's a runner. He's a runner, mate. He said that before, which when you look at the profile of the other halfbacks there, you got Whitey, who's very set-piece dominated, good kick, good pass, and then you got Tate. He's a little bit more of a blend between the both of them. So that way Eddie's able to pick, you know, depending on the opposition, who he wants to run with. And, geez, that would have been an exciting phone call for him yesterday. I reckon he was even seeing if some of his mates were stitching him up.
Yeah, well, you talk about being a runner and creating some things. Leleiwasa good at creating things under adversity. You know, Max Jorgensen as well, mate. We think about that name. And you know what the thing about Max Jorgensen is? You see all these schoolboy clips, right? And then they come through to professional level and they get exposed a bit.
Yeah.
His clips look exactly the same in a Waratahs jersey as when he was 12. So he's treating established professional players like 12-year-olds. Fantastic. Endurance, dealt with some adversity early in his career, injury-wise. You know, his old man's probably given him a few stories about how to deal with that as well, because he copped a few injuries as well. But what a great story that is. Max Jorgensen, you know, and then we talk about the future of Australian rugby.
Absolutely.
That's what you can do.
Well, you can see him walking around in all the clips with Wally there. He's in charge of that, so he's got a big responsibility.
If he does
there.
take the field in France, he will become the youngest Australian to represent the Wallabies at a World Cup. And how's this for a stat? He actually turns 19 on the 2nd of September. He was born in 2004, so he wasn't even alive when Eddie last took the Wallabies to a Rugby World Cup.
2004?
How
long after the World Cup?
About 10 months after the World Cup.
Big party.
Yeah. Were you still going good? Well, Morgan, our man up in Darwin, he is standing by right now, and he does have with him Max Jorgensen and Issak Fines-Leleiwasa, two very excited selectees, I guess you'd say, Morgs.
Thanks, Atco. Yeah, and the boys back in the studio want to know, what did your parents say? What was it like to find out? Max, you first. What was it like finding out you're in the squad, and how was Mum and Dad's reaction?
Yeah, it was unreal. It was a dream come true. I found out I was at home by myself, so sort of celebrating by myself for a bit there. But rang Mum and Dad straight away, and they were stoked. They were so happy for me.
And we've seen a lot of your old man on the big screen at matches. He always likes to get his mug on TV. Do you think now he's going to be at every World Cup game trying to take your thunder again as usual?
Yeah, he loves to do that. Yeah, he'll definitely be there.
We'll make sure Pete stays off it. Isaac, for you, slightly different. Back in Perth, playing for Perth Bayswater Club Rugby, get the call. You're now in Darwin, part of the World Cup squad. How was that little whirlwind piece of time in your life?
Yeah, crazy. Probably 24 hours. I'm about to head into a team meeting at the Force, and then had the call. Had a little surprise and let the family know ASAP, and then sort of had to pull myself together before team meeting. But it was awesome.
Only just been into camp. What's the messaging been around what is expected of you and the players?
Obviously, we want a connection between the players. We want a connection off the field, and definitely on the field, and that's what we're aiming for moving forward.
And had you had communication from Eddie and coaching staff that you were still in the frame, or did you think that the 3 9s that were part of the squad would be what happened to the World Cup? How big a surprise was this?
I guess you always keep the hope, keep the faith, but it was a real surprise. But I did keep in touch with a few of them, just sort of stay ready, and I guess here it is.
And Max, for you as well, obviously injured at the back end of Super. How's the injury? What's the window to you being ready to play?
Knee's coming along really well. Probably only now another 2-3 weeks till I'm back being able to play, so not too far now.
And you made the almost brave decision not to get surgery, to look as far afield as you could for solutions to be in this situation now. Was there ever a time you thought, well, I'll just worry about next year, it's the next World Cup, or did you always think you're a sneaky chance of being here today?
I always had hope, but it was a tough decision between the non-surgical and the surgical, but honestly did what was best for my knee by not getting surgery on it, and here I am today.
And being a young player, Will Skelton's already talked about the confidence he has in young players. You had that taste of Super Rugby. You're confident you can come and contribute and when given a chance, perform for the Wallabies in France?
Yeah, 100%. Yeah, I know I'll be ready, especially coming off the back of my first Super season. I know I have the skill. I can back myself, and I'll be ready.
And Isaac, the last one with you, a bit more mature. as coming in, as everyone talked about the bolter thing, is there some people along the pathway that you think back now and go, well, I'm glad I stuck it out. These people helped me come through. Everyone's got people to thank. Any special people you want to thank?
Oh, I guess it starts with sort of every coach I've had, every coach that believed in you, every coach that didn't, and yeah, I'm just stoked to be here, and hopefully I can prove the coaching staff and this team right.
Well, there you go, Atco and gents in the studio. Two somewhat bolters, but fine footballers part of this Rugby World Cup squad 2023.
Yeah, and they should be very proud, and hopefully all their past coaches and family and friends are very proud as well. Thank you, Morgs. Issak Fines-Leleiwasa, when he was playing in the Queensland Premier Rugby competition, was once described as smooth